All right. It's another day. It's another episode of Your Daily Scrum. We are back. Thanks to all the questions and comments. It's really nice to see that people missed us, but we are here. And Todd had a really cool idea for today. But first, that's Todd Miller. I'm Ryan Ripley. We're professional Scrum trainers with Scrum.org. We teach all the classes. We wrote a book called Fixing Your Scrum. Check all that stuff out in the description. We've got a community where you can join up for free and talk with thousands of other Scrum Masters and Agile coaches on all sorts of Agile topics. That's community.agileforhumans.com. Thank you, Todd. We've also got some free courses here on YouTube. So check out the Scrum Master course. Check out the EBM course, Evidence-Based Management. Might have a product owner course in the works. Let us know in the comments if that would be valuable to you, and maybe we'll get working on that as well. All right, Todd had a really cool idea. Oh, like and subscribe so you never miss a video. If you're getting value out of these videos, maybe hit the thank you button and let us know. Buy Todd a cup of coffee. He loves to over-caffeinate, and then I get to deal with that the rest of the day.
And by the way, I think this was your idea. When you give credit where credit is due, I'm just a follow-up guy.
All right, Todd. I said an offhand comment, and Todd actually made it happen.
Fair, yeah.
We thought we'd do a top 10 rewind. And so we took a look at, actually, Todd took a look at the analytics, and he captured the top 10 all-time popular YDS episodes. So over the last almost 2 years now?
Yeah, coming up on 2 years.
Coming up on 2 years, he took a look at, that's like 400 videos, and he found the top 10. So I think the first one we're going to look at is the typical day for a Scrum Master. We did a video a while back on that. It should appear in the corner there in a second. So what we're going to do is just see, well, first of all, Todd, where did we start? Like, what was our starting position on this?
So just some data. That video was recorded on January 29th, 2021, Ryan. It's like 18 months ago. And so up until this point, we have about 18,000 views on it, 29 comments. What's a typical day of a Scrum Master? Just quick point things that we made in there. Go check out the video, watch it. As we talked about the levels of service that a Scrum Master has to the product owner, to developers, to the organization. We talked about how team maturity comes into play with how we might spend our time. You brought up a good point that how can I best help my team deliver as a Scrum Master? And then I pulled in and related it to empiricism, where we really turned that conversation into failing to adapt. Where are we failing to adapt? And then we tied in the Scrum values. So we said, what does a Scrum Master do all day? All of those things. Those were our key points then.
I think those still hold up. I didn't hear anything that I would think 18 months later, like, ooh, why did we say that? But I do want to add to it.
Yeah.
And actually through a lot of work that Todd, that you and Will have done, I've really come to appreciate EBM. And I think we got to mix that into the daily stuff for a Scrum Master. I really want Scrum Masters creating these EBM dashboards in partnership with the team, of course, but really driving that empirical mindset and viewpoint all the way into the data, right? And so you can take those dashboards, you can better collaborate with the organization, with leadership, with management, with adjacent groups, but you can also help your teams through delivery, especially. I think item aging, Todd, is just such a killer metric that if you're a Scrum Master not collecting item aging every day and looking for ways to use that in an empirical way with your teams each and every day, I think you're missing a really good opportunity. And so I think that's really important as well. But I think the only thing I would add that's coming immediately to mind is that EBM aspect, right?
Yeah, and maybe even drawing it back to a high level. I like where you're going with that. Like, what if as a Scrum Master, we just say, what are we measuring?
Yeah.
And then what if we question what behaviors could potentially be impacted based off of what we're measuring? And is what we're measuring helping us to make better decisions? Right? Because if the answer is no, then stop measuring it. Or maybe there's other things that you can measure. So I like that at a high level. What are we measuring?
And then even like inspecting your empiricism, which sounds weird. It's like I'm going meta, but I'm not. What I want Scrum Masters doing daily is considering of all the things that we're doing to help, teams and organizations make new and better decisions each and every day, which is primarily why you're there. You're creating opportunities to make new and better decisions each and every day. Is our empirical plan not actionable? Are we inspecting, but we can't adapt? right? Are we inspecting things that are out of our control? And I think that's been a big trend that we've seen as well, that, yeah, it's great. You're looking at all this stuff and you've got all these ideas, but none of them are actionable. And so you're not doing anything to get better. And so can you actually take what you're learning and weaponize it, make it actionable, add to delivery? Or are we just like, hey, I inspected and adapted, so I win?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes me think too, that it's good for us to make sure that our goals are clear and precise, right? And so in evidence-based management, we have 3 levels of goals, right? You have immediate, tactical, intermediate, and strategic. So that might be overlaid by a complementary practice like OKRs or something like that. But are our goals customer-centric and very clear, because that impacts behavior? And, I thought too, one thing that I think is really important for a Scrum Master to do, and you and I run this activity all the time in our classes, is what's communication like? What's communication like between product owner and developers? What's the communication like between a product owner and stakeholders? What's communication like between me and developers, or me and the product owner, or me and the organization, developers and the organization? Like, I don't want to say, I think monitoring is the wrong word. Maybe you have a much more, I'm sure you have a much more elegant word than monitoring for me, but what's happening with the communication? And that kind of segues into a lot of other conversations. Like, is there conflict? Is that conflict healthy? Like, it's like thinking about that and understanding and really studying the communication that's happening amongst the Scrum team and within the organization, I think really helps you to get in there and solve impediments and maybe even entice that communication to be just a little bit better.
Yeah. So I hope what people are hearing out of this is, 18 months later, we're still saying your work is emergent. We might have some different ideas on tooling, so EBM could help, but you're still digging into the discussions. You're digging in with people. You're looking at relationships, and you're sparking adaptation, right? But your day is emergent. It could be different day to day, but hopefully some of these consistent ideas and principles are helpful. Yeah. All right, Todd, I think it's end screen time.
It is end screen time.
End screen time. Like and subscribe. Never miss an episode. Check out the socials. Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter are back on track. Some videos are going to pop up. It's our 2 courses. So the Scrum Framework and the EBM Framework. Both of those are free. Check those out. Countless people have told us they've used those to get their certifications. So go forward, do some great Scrum things with those. Some merch is there too. So check that out. Leave your questions and comments below. We need your help to understand what you need so we can make new videos. So questions and comments are valuable. For Todd, I'm Ryan. Go forward and rethink your day and make the adjustments. So you got to inspect and adapt your plans too. All right, Scrum Masters, go crush it. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you.